Addiction is all around us. You or someone you may know may be an addict and not even realize it. I believe if more people knew the truth behind addiction, then they wouldn't be so eager to judge, but instead help those people in need. There are different kinds of addiction. Today, I'm going to talk about drug and alcohol addiction. You might not be able to tell by looking at me, but I myself am a proud recovering addict. I started using drugs and alcohol when I was 14 and have used off and on ever since. 2 years ago, I moved into Oxford and began the road to my new life. Today, I would like to educate you on what addiction is, different signs and symptoms of addiction, and how to get those people help. What is addiction? According to the Partnership to End Addiction, addiction is a disease of the mind and body, the brain and body, that is also known as a substance use disorder. This is caused by different psychological, environmental, and biological effects. People who have addicts in their family are 50% more likely to be addicted to drugs themselves than everybody else. People who grow up around people using drugs and alcohol may think it's okay to use because that's what they grew up around. Some people use drugs to cope with mental disabilities such as anxiety, bipolar disorder, and depression. Using drugs will have different effects on your brain. Drugs release endorphins in your brain such as dopamine and serotonin that give you pleasure at that point in time. The chemical release it gives you makes things that you used to love, such as hobbies or things you're passionate about, not release enough chemicals to give you that same pleasure. Over time, you will need to take more drugs to feel the same effect. Don't worry, once you're done using drugs, your dopamine levels will go back to normal and you'll be able to do things you love again and be happy. How will you know somebody you love or you are addicted to drugs and alcohol? There's an article written by Adam Feldman in the Medical News Today newsletter that'll tell you the different social, physical, and psychological symptoms of addiction. Let's start with social symptoms. A lot of addicts won't admit to having a problem. In recovery, we call this denial. An addict will do anything to get drugs and alcohol, even if they don't have the money to do so. This person will start go from using socially to using alone and in secret and lying about it. Physical changes. Change in appetite is one big tall tale. You'll be able to tell what kind of drug they're actually using. Loss of appetite usually comes with people who are using meth, cocaine, or pills that contain amphetamines. A gain of appetite usually happens to somebody who's smoking marijuana or drinking. Changes in appearance. People who use meth or coke might have a sunken-in face, or their face may look hollow. They may also lose weight fast. People who use meth, their teeth might deteriorate over time. A heroin or opiate addict might seem tired and out of it. Withdrawal symptoms are the biggest tall tale signs for me. Somebody who is going through withdrawal will be tired and falling out. They might become agitated and their mood swings might become uncontrollable. Heroin, opiate, and alcohol are said to have the worst withdrawal symptoms, including tremors, seizures, diarrhea, vomiting, and uncontrollable violence. Psychological symptoms. People who have an underlying mental health condition might experience more episodes, or somebody who's never had one may gain a mental health condition. Paranoia is also a big sign. People who use drugs oftentimes think everybody's out to get them. How to get help. There are different types of ways to get help, such as treatment, 12-step programs, and sober living houses such as Oxford. There are several different types of treatment depending on what you need. You can go to detox, which helps you through withdrawal, inpatient, which you go there and you live there until you can be around normal society, and outpatient for the not so severe cases. Everybody who becomes in recovery will need a support system. Oftentimes addicts use AA, CA, and NA to meet other addicts who are going through the same thing to be a support system. They say you should go to 2 to 3 meetings a week when you first start and obtain a sponsor. The most important thing to me in recovery was my Oxford House. I got this information from the Oxford House Inc. website and their manual and personal experience. There are over 2,000 houses in the United States, 32 being in Sedgwick and 10 being in Reno County. There are men's, women's, and you can live with your children in Oxford. The goal of Oxford is to help you get ready to live on yourself and guide you through your recovery. All you have to do is schedule an interview and show up for the house meeting to get in. As long as you really want to get sober, they'll even accept you even if you can't pass a drug test. There are multiple resources besides that available that you can find online. So now that you know what addiction is, how to identify it, and how to help, don't be afraid to ask for help. Too many people die from addiction every day. Addiction is the hardest thing I've had to go through, and I'll have to go through it all my life. But here I am today, a recovering addict, living one day at a time.